Oh, boys. Okay, look. Again, I'm faced with the problem, no, not the problem, the reality that different demographics listen to different media outlets. And it's you young kids, you young punk kids that listen to the YouTube channel, but you don't read the blog. So I gotta tell you that I've written about it before, but it ain't getting out there. So let me explain it to you boys, all right? Do not buy fancy cars when you're younger, boys. Okay? Don't buy a sports car, don't get a Mercedes, don't get a Beamer. And the reason why, there's a lot of reason why, but the primary one is that you can't afford it. Okay? That's the literal financial boring reason. You can't afford it. Now I know what your goal is. Your goal is to impress the ladies. You think that owning a fancy car is going to somehow get you girls, right? And the truth is, it's not. But beyond that, the primary reason not to get it is you can't afford it, right? And think of the literalness of that statement. You cannot afford it. Now the banks and the car finance dealership, they'll let you think you can afford it, and they'll loan you the money, and they'll take money out of your mouth literally because you can't feed yourself, and then you gotta go live with your mom. So I want you to think about this statement. You cannot not afford it. Right? So don't even bother trying, because if you do, you're going to ruin your financial life. And the reason why, understand this. Let's say you're a 50-year-old bringing down 100K. You buy this car, you don't even insure it, and you total it. You lost, I don't know, what, $100,000, a really fancy car. You're all right. You're still okay. Because you're older, more well-established, and you have a higher income. Working at McDonald's or the car wash or paying your way through college or whatever, you cannot afford to sustain a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 loss. And ultimately that's what it is. You never get your money back on a car. It's a consumer good. It's not an investment. It's not like you're investing in Merck and then you get a dividend payment every quarter and then you sell it for a 20% gain down the road. Right? This is, you drop 50 grand on the car, and you drive it into the ground, you lose all 50,000. You own a $50,000 car, and a year from then, you sell it for 25,000. You've lost money. Right? And getting back, excuse me, went running. I have problems with my esophagus. And getting back to the point about you being younger, is that sustaining such a loss will have a huge crippling effect down the road and into your life. You can, at the age of 19, let's say you bought a $60,000 vet. You are pretty much hosed until you either get rid of that vet or you finally pay it off. You finally amortize it over all those years. And I estimate that'd be at least till you're 25, 26, 27, 20, hell, even 29. Almost a decade. You are screwed. You can't go to college. You can't. All because what? You thought the car was going to get you chicks. All right, now, we've addressed the financial aspect. That's not going to commit, because I know you kids, you boys, you're not going to listen. You still want a car, and I know you still want to drive fast, but let me explain to you why it doesn't even get chicks, okay? Understand the type of girls who are going to go for a guy with a fancy car, okay? These are the type of girls who are acutely aware of all the pop culture, all the fashion, and the key word is all the latest fashions. Right? Now, as a young man, the chance of you buying a fancy sports car or a luxury vehicle right off the factory, right off the assembly line is zero. You're not going to be able to afford it. But you're going to, hey, I know, I'm going to be sneaky. I'm going to get a used car. Well, here's the problem. The women know it's a used car. These women are acutely aware of what the latest models are. Just like fashion, just like purse bags, just like whatever. People their job, if they're going after a guy for money, they know. They're experts in that industry, and they know what the latest models are coming out. They know the difference between a 5 Series and a 7 Series. They know whether it's the GT model or if it's the base model. They know these things. Now, what you're going to do, because the only thing you can do, you can't afford a brand new car, you're going to go and buy a used one. Right off the bat, they're going to be, with their eagle eyes, being able to spot this saying, that's a 2011? Like, oh my god, the 2014s are coming out? And like, who would ever be seen with that? And I've seen this. I was at an economic seminar down in Dallas, and one of the guys had a connection to a party where there were models. I didn't know this at the time, but I walked in, and all the gals were like really tall. I'm like, why the hell are all? I mean, and not like, a foot or an inch or two. They're like a full foot, like with the heels even a little bit more. I'm like, it was like walking through a forest, like trees, except the trees are like hot chicks. I'm like, what is going on here? I don't know. And also, I found out it was a model convention, but I had rented a Mustang GT. Because I always wanted to drive one. That's my policy. What I do. See, I don't buy. This is very related. Let's take a little divergence here. I will never buy a high-end sports car, but I will rent one because I like to drive it. I want to test it. I have, just like any other guy. I want to. Hey, I want to try it. So I've gotten the Challenger. I've done. Oh, what else did I do? I've done 2 Mustangs, and there's a 4th one that escapes my mind. But whatever, I rented this GT. Now, I got to experience these cars. They got wonderful and variety for a mere fraction of the cost that it costs to actually own a car outright. Okay, so that's what I recommend if you want to get it out of your system. But I had this cherry red 2013 Mustang GT. Oh, it was wonderful. I mean, totally. Get that car, man. That is the best one. Beats the Challenger. The engine just purrs. It just, oh man, it's a good car. So I pull up, and they got valet, and I pull up, and I got the shittiest car. I mean, there's like Lamborghinis, there's Maseratis, there's these Lotuses. I had my brand new 2013 Mustang GT was the shittiest. Right? And if I were to use the car to try and impress the chicks, I would fail. You want to know why? Because all the girls know. Oh my goodness, like, that's a domestic. Of course, they probably don't know how to pronounce the word domestic. They probably do. But the point being, you're not going to fool anyone. You're not going to, because the girls know that's a 3-year-old car. Now, third reason, understand the luxury car market, especially luxury. I don't know necessarily if this applies to sports cars, and I don't think it would, but especially the luxury car market. Beamers, Mercedes, Lexus, all that. When you buy a Lexus, when you buy a Porsche, when you buy a Mercedes, you are not buying a vehicle. The purchasers of these cars know it, and the manufacturers of the cars know it. Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, no, they know they are not in the business of selling cars. When they sit in the boardroom, they are saying, we don't sell cars. They sell status. They sell prestige. They sell envy. That's what they sell. And it manifests itself in the form of a car. Right? Then rich guy over in North Oaks or over in Wayzata, or pick your local suburb place that's very rich, buys this car as a status symbol when he goes into work. He has the 2014 model, and he gets the missus, the trophy wife, the soccer mom, her Lexus SUV, so she could go park it when she gets coffee with the latest cars. Yes, I have the latest 2014 model. Yes. Where's Jimmy? Who's Jimmy? Oh, my child. Oh, yeah, I guess I spit one out. I don't know. It's been so long. I think the nanny, the maid has... I don't know. I really don't pay attention to them. Let's get another mocha. Let's have another latte. My daughter... I have a daughter, too? Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's going to be fun going to hell. It's not the destination. It's how you get there. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So she gets bragging rights, right? Now, the majority of the money that transacts, and the only money that the car manufacturers get, is in that first transaction, okay? Damn it, this blue screen again. The $60,000 is paid to Porsche. Porsche's got it. What happens to that car after 3 or 4 years? Porsche doesn't care. They already got their money. They sold the status. Now, you, Sucker Joe, 22-year-old kid, doesn't know any better, recently graduated from college. Now you got your $40,000 a year job, if you're lucky, and you're gonna go and you're gonna go and borrow the money to afford this used BMW, this 3-year-old BMW. Well, here's the problem. You are buying something that was originally designed for prestige and status, thinking it still has it. Right? You're not buying a vehicle. Admit it, you're buying prestige and status. But because the market for prestige and status is only 2 to 3 years, that vehicle lost all of its value. There's no longer any status with a 3-year-old Beamer. There's no status with a 2-year-old Mercedes. There's no status with a 3-year-old Lexus. Right? You're being suckered and taken. So you go up to the 55-year-old investment banker, you haggle, you're lucky enough to get that used Beamer for 40, right? And then what happens to the Beamer? It starts breaking down. And I don't know if you've ever seen a Beamer or a Lexus or if you've ever ridden in a luxury vehicle, there's a lot of amenities, a lot of bells and whistles. And you think, oh, that's great, heated seats. Oh, look, automatic everything. That is just more shit to go around with it. And I swear to the God, or gods, or whatever, of the automotive industry, the manufacturers know this. Because you're not their customer base. Their customer base is first-time purchasers, not of cars, but they buy the car off the assembly line for status. You are in the secondary market. You are a used car person. They don't care about you. And so they design these cars not to purposely break down, but certainly not to last. Everything breaks down. The heated seats. The windshield wipers that are heated. But because they actually have heated windshield wipers that have heat going through them. But what happens when the heat doesn't work? Can you still use it? Oh, hell no, you can't use the wiper. No, the whole system breaks down. There's a whole windshield wiper system. We have to replace the whole system. Oh, did the heated seats go out? Oh, well, can we just plug in a new? Oh, God, no, there's a system. It's linked through the transmission, and then it goes to the steering column, and then it goes to the GPS. We got to replace it all. And soon what you find out is that to do the most simplest of repairs costs, a cheap fix on BMW, guys, is like $1,200. It is. And now you're stuck not with a good car, not with status, because everyone looks at it and says, I'm it's like a 4-year-old Beamer, so not gonna suck his penis. He's crass. It's not crass. Why are you so crass? What? You have a liability. That's what you got. You got a liability. You got to shell out money every fucking month to fix these things. Not that I've ever dealt with people's cars. Can you fix this? No, that's another. Let's see, you're a handyman. Not with German cars, you ain't. You need their fucking German tools, and it's all. It's not even metric. They got some weird crap. Well, that's a Porsche tool. You need a Porsche tool for that. Oh, nope, Lexus can't. Well, Lexus isn't German, but they might as well be. Audis. Oh. Good luck fixing an Audi. You might as well just take that Audi to the factory and borrow tools from the people who assemble it. You know, it is that. So here, guys. 1, you're not going to impress the girls. 2, you can't afford the car. 3, you can't afford the repairs, and it's going to be murderous hell, and it's going to wreak havoc on your finances and your stress and your time. Okay, so here's what you do. If you're going to insist on getting a sports car, you're just going to have to wait till you're older. Okay, because these girls, like they know when the latest Beamers are coming out and what the latest models are, they also know a 22-year-old kid doesn't have the money. Okay, they're more likely to go after if let's say your dad was rich and he bought you like this cool car, he could buy you a car for the rest of your days. They're going after your dad because he's the one with the money, right? And I'm sorry, it's just 30, 40-something years old, 50-year-olds who actually have the money. And girls who are looking for money know how to see through the ruse. Okay, so don't even bother buying it. If you're going to have to just wait till you're 30 and 40 or 50 to get it. Right? The second thing, if you really want to get girls with a vehicle, get a motorcycle. That's it. You get a motorcycle. They're cheaper to fix. And here's the thing. You're not trying to go that rich guy route. You're going the bad boy route. You're going the tough underdog route. Right? This is why you don't see... The two don't mix. You don't see a guy stepping out of his Mercedes wearing a motorcycle jacket, torn up jeans, military boots, and goggles. Okay? Just as you don't see an investment banking type guy with his suit on hopping off of a motorcycle or a Harley or a Hog. Because they're two distinct different markets. They're two different strategies. So, motorcycles cost a lot less. 2, they are wonderful for learning how to become a mechanic on because they're much easier to fix than cars, much cheaper to fix than cars, but they are operating on the exact same fundamentals. Combustion engine, they got a transmission, fuel lines, everything is the same. It's just smaller. And so it's a really great way to break into learning how to fix stuff. And then you'll learn how to fix cars. 3, way more fun. 4, I'd say at any time, not at any time, you take a bunch of girls, line them up, and you put the brand new Mercedes in front of them, or with the commensurate investment banking douchebag in his suit. And then you take the bad boy motorcyclist with his jacket on, his goggles, maybe a tattoo or something, and smoking a cigarette. I would say at least 70% of the time, the girls are going to go for the motorcycle bad boy. Right? And that's your in. For a young guy who has no money, who has got to pay back student loans, who is just trying to get by in life, get established, doesn't make a lot at his job, the motorcycle is the way to go. What do you do during winter? I don't know. It's too bad. I'm giving you some help. I can't answer everybody's questions. I'm not a miracle worker. You get a snowmobile. See, yeah, the girls like the snowmobile. Yeah, then you're the real bad boy. It's wear your Polaris jacket. Sorry, it's Minnesota humor. It's they actually wear Polaris and Arctic Hat snowmobile jackets to weddings and funerals. It's never mind. But no, don't get a snowmobile. The girls don't. There's no real snowmobile bad boy image. Although I don't know, maybe way up north there is. But for the most part, get yourself a motorcycle. Then down the road, if you want, yeah, get a Beamer. Yeah, but truthfully, guys, especially by the time you're 30, you should have enough game. You don't need a luxury vehicle. And truthfully, you look at a lot of these guys, they don't have game. You got the doctor who make a lot of money, but boy, they can't sweet talk the lady into some lingerie. They just can't. It's money. It's their default. It's the one button. They just know how to press it. That's all they got. So. But by the time you are an older gentleman, a younger man, but, not a kid anymore, you should have some skills. You should be able to sweet talk a lady. You should have some kind of, play a guitar, play a musical instrument. I do the ballroom dancing. You're a motorcycle mechanic. Something out there. So you never have to piss away your money on something as stupid as a Mercedes or a BMW or a Porsche or an Audi. Right? You can get that fucking Mustang. Oh, it's a great car. Just a great car. Yeah, so don't do it. You're just going to cripple your life. Let's put it this way. If you buy that Beamer or the car you can't afford now, you'll never be able to afford it again. If you wait 10 years, develop yourself into an interesting individual, become the world's most interesting man, you get yourself a little bit of a job, you cover your finances, you're mature about them, you'll be able to afford all the Beamers and the Mercedes you want. By that time, you'll have the wisdom, no, you don't want them, though. So that's all we got. Toodles.